Hello everyone, Wayne here. Hope you are well. Let me know who's watching inside the comments. Let's see who we've got. We've got Millie, we've got Mapool, we've got Olga J. I wonder if we'll have an Olga E with us today. Let me know who's watching live. There's about a 10-second delay from when I speak to when you guys can hear me. Maybe a bit longer. Sashin, yes, I'm very well, mate. I'm actually off to France in a few hours, so I'm looking forward to that. Kubus, I need to pay you your $50. Did that get paid? I just sent first names to Kubus Meyer, to Anik. So I don't actually know if you got paid. In your OSP account. If you can check. Andrew, how are you? Nicolito's then thinking of you, Nicolito. So I was then thought, I better message Nicolito, see how she's getting on. We've got Nikki, we've got Jawari, a $7 link. I remember that. Maris, Millie, Philip. When will you sleep? Not in Disney. I know that for a fact. I'm dreading it, to be honest. I've now told Anik, and so Eric, if you're here, let me know your name so I can tell the team, or your OLSP ID. That'd be brilliant. Wes, how are you, mate? Hopefully your first session wasn't too heavy today. We went into some heavy stuff today. Hopefully that wasn't too much. It's not normally that heavy, but today was a good thing to go into. Anyway, I've got a special guest today. Jawaria. I've typed the team. I'm like support here, guys. We're here to welcome a special guest. We're here, all good stuff. Brilliant, thanks, Wes. Nikki, chair. Don't know what the chair's for, but we love a good chair. So I've got a special guest. The Alphinator's here. We've got a special guest today. They are very nervous. Okay, most people are, funny enough, when they come on this. I tend to pick people who are a little bit nervous. Because it's really important to do the things you're afraid of, in not just in business, but in life, I think. Paul, how are you, mate? And Roland, hope you're well. It's important to do the things you are scared of in life. Okay, there's Olga here. I was wondering where you were. We've got the booth that Olga's here. So I'm going to bring her on. Okay, you got to be kind, but not too kind. So I'm going to bring on Esther. How are you? Just let me know you can hear Esther, everyone.
Hello, I can hear you. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, Nicolita says she knows the feeling of nervousness. You done really well,
Okay.
Nicolita. How are you
Okay.
feeling now?
I'm feeling a little bit better now that it started, but I'm still just a teeny bit nervous. Yes.
It's quite strange. In fact, I'm going to let you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, because there's something strange and unusual with you, which we'll speak about once you've done a little introduction. So tell everyone why you joined OLSP, what you've done, your background, your profession, your shoe size, what colour hair you have. Tell them everything.
That's awesome. So I joined OLSP because I wanted the coaching. That was the main thing I wanted. I'd been
Awesome.
putting pieces together and looking for specialists for different things, but I didn't have coaching along the way. And so when I learned about OLSP and I learned about the VIP program, I perfectly jumped. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad. Even today, when we had a session early this afternoon, I learned some more information that's extremely helpful for me in my business.
Brilliant. It was a lot today, wasn't it? It was quite a
Yes.
heavy one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
What have
But
you
we
done?
need to know it.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes, I think everyone needs to realise you only need to hear things a few times and it starts to sink in. And once you understand, you get it. It's only new once.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brilliant thing. So tell us a bit more about yourself. What is it you've done before? What is your profession?
So for work is civil engineering, and I specialize, which we say in our world niching, I specialize in traffic engineering. So if somebody calls and says they want a signal or they want to change a roadway median or close an access or change lanes, we do all the study and then we will tell them yay or nay, and we'll tell them the reasons for either direction.
Wow. So are you
I
the person that sits there and works out the traffic light signals in coordination?
I have a friend who does that,
That would
but
be
I know a
interesting.
little bit of how to do it. Yeah.
That would be interesting for me because it's not. This is completely off topic, but it's not just what happens at those lights, is it? It's what happens at the next ones and around the corner and the flows. It must be quite interesting.
Yes, yes. We have to coordinate everything in order for it to function properly. Yep.
And it's sad that I've thought about that. I have such a dull life. I've just realised how dull my life must be to think
I
about.
would say that's interesting and fun, though. Really,
interesting and fun.
well, maybe I'm dull too. Then
Yeah, I think we'll be dull
okay. We'll be
together.
dull together. Okay, sounds good.
So what was interesting? What you said about before this, and this is really, I found this really interesting. Is reading the comments. What I found really interesting is I'm really nervous about going on camera, but I've spoken in live in-person events loads and I don't get nervous. Why do you think that is?
So I've been public speaking since I've been 6 years old.
6.
And yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I've been speaking in front of an English audience and a Spanish audience. And I think my highest number would be like 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you can see expressions, and there's like immediate feedback that happens in a public setting. With the camera, it's just me and the camera, and so I have to like create a fake audience.
Okay.
And so it makes me a little nervous.
So you have
in the beginning.
Okay. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay, so I'm not interrupting. Go on.
Sure.
In the beginning. Go on.
In the beginning, I just kept thinking my family and friends are going to think I'm like funny or weird or something, you know? But then with everyone here, like I say, coaching, right? So I've been on this journey for like a year, but I didn't go live ever. It's with all of you that I've gone live. That's it. And then now doing this with you, I've never done a live with a second person. This is my first time too. So it just like, it's helpful. So with time, I just thought, oh, they're not actually paying attention. I like made that up in my mind, to be honest. So
brilliant.
But now I'm just nervous because I'm in front of the group and it's like all of you together. So
yeah, fortunately, there's not too many people. And you haven't got away. My family think I'm weird and strange anyway, and they know me. So I just stepped into that when I started going live. That's really interesting. What I think it is, and Graham Grew, is the same. He's mentioned the other week. He's exactly the same. And it might be because, in fact, I'll tell you the technique I used. There's a guy called Ant. Some of you, if you've been here for a number of years, will remember Ant. I used to struggle with the same thing. I used to think about my mum, my dad, my friends. What would they think? And I'd find that I was speaking to them, like rather than who my perfect audience was. So what I did is I got Ant and I pretend I'd speak to him. Just that one person. I was explaining things to him and I had him in my mind. Because then he was my target audience, or I got on well with him. I knew how to explain stuff to him. He's a lovely guy. And we just had, like, it was like I was helping him without thinking about my mum and my dad, my friends and everything else. Camera conscious, yeah. So that's how I got over it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you feel about the support in the community, because to me they're the big things about OLSP, the support in the community.
okay, I love it. I'm just gonna say that I love it. Yeah, it's sometimes you feel like you're stuck and you feel like, am I doing this the right way? I'm not really sure. It's the best thing in the world to know there are people you can just say, hey, do you mind if you don't mind? And they don't mind. And everybody's really focused on completing their task and taking care of their business. So it's not, there's no riffraff or anything. It's like we're all focused, we're all driven, we know what we're doing, and we understand that we're going to help each other along the way to get to the end game. I I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's no riffraff in there because there's a few riffraff
Okay.
in there. There is a little bit of
Okay.
riffraff in there.
Okay.
I'm in there for starters. I'm in there for starters. What's been the biggest thing, guys? And if you have any questions for Esther as we go through, like sometimes you're sitting there and we'll say something that sparks a question. Oh, I wonder how you do that, or how did Esther get over this? I'd like to know how the hell you start speaking at 6 years old. How does that public speaking? How did that even happen?
Oh, that's because I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And so a part of our ministry, a part of being a Jehovah's Witness, my parents were witnesses,
Yeah.
and we go out in the ministry and we will share with people the opportunity to get to know more about the Bible.
Hmm.
And so as a kid, you grow up in your parents' house, and whatever your parents are doing spiritually, that's what you do because they teach you what they know.
Yeah.
And so I would go out in the ministry with them. Along the way, I did my own research and I chose to become a Jehovah's Witness on my own. But I've just continued it all these years.
And that's
Yeah.
where you learn how to speak in front of strangers.
Yes.
Amazing. That is amazing. So Sashin's asked, what is your biggest hurdle before you joined OLSP? What was the biggest thing you struggled with? That's a pretty good question. Like,
That's a
what
great
what did
question.
you do before OLSP, and what was the big struggle?
Um, Getting a healthy email list was my biggest struggle. Making sure that my content captured the attention. I had a lead magnet, but I wasn't capturing attention properly. I know now it's because my content it wasn't succinct. Like it didn't align with the person I would like to attract.
Yeah.
So I was just copying what I saw other people do is what I was doing.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
So
yeah.
explain in your own words, which could really help someone. Explain. Let's see. I don't want to put you on the spot, but who is your perfect audience? Who's your perfect lead?
Oh, um, okay. um, so the short answer is me 7 months ago before I started the business. That's the quick and short, dirty answer to it.
Brilliant.
So that person is a female. She's between the age of 45, about the age of 45 and 50. I say 75 just because you'll hear what I'm capturing. That person is near retirement. They're focused on retiring soon, and they want a stream of income during their retirement, or they just want a stream of income during retirement because they don't want to go into their savings too much.
Hmm.
Um, this person likes traveling. They don't have to have tech experience, but they do enjoy using computers a good bit. And they definitely love family and they love friends.
Wow. So you have got that nailed. So
Yeah.
so for everyone watching, how does knowing your customer avatar or your perfect lead, how does that help your marketing, do you think? What do you do to attract that person or speak to that person?
So the words that I use, right?
Yeah.
Retirement, savings, money, right? So it teaches me what words to use. But the other thing it does, which is really cool, is it teaches me what music to use on my videos.
Wow.
Because a person that's in the 40s, they're gonna like music from like the 80s and the 90s, right? That's gonna catch their attention. It'll stop the scroll for them. So knowing that kind of stuff, knowing different references, like maybe they liked the show Friends, or maybe they liked another show. So thinking of that show and maybe using little hooks, including in my content, like, oh, so and so said this on Friends, or so, and they would say, oh, I remember that show, and da, 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 da. So that kind of thing is just creating references that creates nostalgia for that person, and that person begins to start going, oh, let me pay attention, what's happening here.
That's brilliant. Did you get that, guys? This is very good. So why do you let's go a little bit deeper because this is really interesting. I don't think a lot of people um know to go this deep. Okay. But it's fantastic what you've said. So how does I forgot the question I was going to ask. It was mind blowing. Esther. It was a mind-blowing question. It was the most awesome question
Awesome
you've ever
question
heard.
ever.
That question was, why do you do that? What is the mechanism or the feeling you're looking to get that customer or that potential customer? Like, what is the mechanism you're hoping to trigger when you do this marketing?
I want them to feel like they believe they can do it,
Okay.
and that they believe that I'm the person that can help them on their journey, because they relate to me at this moment in time. And so they're like, oh, she understands me. She understands the references. She's going to laugh at the different things that I talk about. I can be goofy around her and she's not going to be judgmental of me.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a journey to help them go through that transformation process.
That is a fantastic answer. I think the guys are learning a lot here because it's probably something they never thought about before. Okay. One of the big things that potential customers want, guys, or a good way of attracting customers and creating customers is through connection. Okay. And making them feel understood. If you think about people, real friends in real life, they tend to be people with similar interests. Okay, like this is what happens in real life. So you can create connections with people, and this works. Okay, is marketing 101, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating connections directly with people, even down to. I remember someone about 5 years ago. He researched, so his age group wasn't his customer avatar at that time. He researched his perfect customer at that time, even down to the type of, he had on his page, he had a certain type of car. He even researched that type of car that was on that page so it resonated with his target audience. He knew they'd know what it is. Like, that is good marketing, guys, okay? You're looking to say, hey, I understand, I get you, okay? Kind of helponomics, it's more being relatable. Sashin. So that is, Nicolita says, it's like a coaching session. My mind is blown already. So this is the thing, like, a lot of people, you're one of these people, Esther, don't realise what they've learned until they start sharing what they've learned. Okay, so is that kind of how you feel right now? You probably just said that like it's common knowledge, I'm guessing. And people are like, wow, this is awesome. How amazing is that? Just by reiterating what you've learned, what you apply, you see people learning from it. And this is a big thing. Like, as well, you said another really interesting thing. Your target audience is you from 7 months ago. Okay? Explain that to people so they can understand that part of it. Let's see how you explain that.
Okay. You're trying to solve a problem in your business. You need to know and understand that problem deeply. Who do you know the best? What problem do you know the best? Yourself. You lived it, you understand it, you know your fears, you know your happiness moments, and you know what caused you to even go into this business in the first place. So that person is your best avatar. Now, that avatar has friends, they have an uncle, they have a cousin, they have an aunt, they have a mom, and all of those people will become a part of your audience. But if you just focus on your avatar, your audience will follow.
Brilliant. It's like you've rehearsed this, Esther.
No.
Have you been like, what questions is Wayne and everyone going to ask so I can prepare? So here's another question for everyone as well. So you've got your target audience, your perfect customer. You've got your content speaking to you, or your message speaking to you 7 months ago. And a big thing people ask is, how do you create content? So when you're creating content, or when you're starting out, let's go back. So some people, what advice would you give for newbies? Okay, what content would you start to create? And what are you creating now? What kind of value are you putting out into the marketplace?
So I started out with just saying, I'm starting. That was it.
Brilliant.
And I started that way because that's all I knew. I didn't think it was appropriate to try to act like I was something that I wasn't. So I just started out talking about what I did and I finished this. And if I found like a new idea, I remember the day I learned search engine optimization. My entire Instagram feed was about search engine optimization. You think it just came out yesterday? I just talked about that. And then now I notice that I tend to talk more about mindset and staying focused and being driven and hurdles that we can overcome. And I'll talk still about what I'm doing and I'll still share some things about what I'm saying. But I know I changed my content because I realized that my avatar wants to be in it for the long term.
Hmm.
She's
Good.
not in it for the short term.
Hmm.
So she's going to need to know that her mindset is most important and that she needs to not be eager to make $1 million in 2 days, that it's going to take time.
Hmm. Brilliant.
So I speak to that person.
Fantastic. A big thing, guys. So a lot of the time, okay, people are on day 3, they're in their 3rd day, and they're like, I don't know who to help. I can't help anyone. I don't know what value I can give. Speak to you on day 1. Okay, speak to you on day 1, because what happens is a magical thing that happens, okay? When you try and stay ahead of yourself, which you do naturally, okay, and you start building an audience, you'll find, like, if you speak to yourself on day 1, you're on week 2, let's say, those people that are on day 1 will start being attracted to you because you're speaking to them. Hey, it's just important to get started, guys. Just get started. Doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing. Start taking action. Okay, so that could be the kind of messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Esther, that kind of messaging. And then these people will be attracted to you and they'll start asking you questions. Okay. And what happens is when they ask you questions, they will direct you in the direction you go because they're giving you the content to feed back to everyone. Okay. We think there's, what content do I put out there? Let people tell you. Okay. All the time. The content's out there. Okay. So that was awesome, Esther. That was, let me know if you got value from Esther there, guys, because that was brilliant. That was a lot of value there. Hopefully a lot of you picked up on the head. Okay, a lot hit that nail on the head. And the great thing is, how long have you been in OSP? 7 months?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of you guys here are new. You're now probably looking at Esther think, wow, I want to be like Esther.
Oh,
I was like, no. I look at traffic lights all day. And I look at road lines. He wants to be like me. But this is how you step into leadership, guys. By actually becoming a bit of a leader and doing the work. Okay, so the feedback's been brilliant. So I want you guys, we've got a few minutes. I want you guys to ask Esther any questions on what you've just learned. Let's put Esther on the spot a bit. Okay, let's put her on the spot because what she shared there, Nicolita rather says, I want to be her. She is beautiful. Graham Grew says, aha moment for me. I think the reason I struggle is, to identify my audience is because I've been doing this for so long. And I didn't start thinking about my customers. It's where it all starts, guys. Okay, it's where it all starts. Okay. Amazing, helpful. So no real questions. Okay. So let's ask a kind of simpler question. Okay. Now, maybe not simpler. Okay. Yeah, follow on social media. What's your, how do you say your surname? Esther?
Steely.
Steely.
Yeah.
There you go. So follow Esther on social media, okay? What would you say, someone coming in, day 1, what do you say they should focus on? Because we've got a few people that are still fitting in. A lot of people, a lot of the time, feel lost. They're like, what do I do? What do I need to do? What would you say that person should focus on?
On day 1?
On day 1, they come in, they kind of like, right, I need to, a lot of people are like, right, I need to spam a link everywhere. You don't do that.
Go. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. And Facebook reduces your reach when you do that, by the way.
Exactly.
So please don't do that. Follow the trainings and watch them again and again and again and again until it just clicks. Keep following them. please, you'll hear you're in the game, in this business, because you've heard other people say different things. So those things are also in your head. But I promise you, if you just follow the trainings in this program and you follow along with what it says, it will give you the foundation you need to build your business properly.
Boom.
You can build whatever product you want, but if you don't have traffic, nobody's going to buy it.
Perfection.
So focus on getting traffic.
And let's take this even more basic. What is traffic? How do you create traffic so everyone gets it if they're on day
This
one?
is what I love talking about. I love talking about this. Okay. It is bringing awareness to your existence in the business place. So when you go to Instagram, when you go to Facebook, when you have email, when you are on TikTok, on whichever platform you choose to use, you get people to look at your content. That's your traffic. When they come into your system and they click on your links and they go into your email and they actually are part of your email system, then they're your leads. So you need to focus on making sure that the content resonates with the person that you want to capture, so they will stop the scroll.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You said one big golden nugget there. I want everyone to pick up on. You didn't say bringing awareness to your links or bringing awareness to the system or a program. You bring awareness to yourself, guys. Okay, that's a big golden. Yeah, it's huge. It's a big golden nugget. Yes, you can do things with AI and faceless, but you're not bringing awareness to you. And bringing awareness to you actually builds a lot of know, like, and trust. Okay, so guys, we've got one more minute. You have been fantastic, Esther. I don't know why you were even nervous, because you have brought knowledge bombs. You brought value bombs that have been amazing.
Thank you. You gave me a chance to give back to the team. Thank you.
It's been massive. You're like a sponge. You've understood it. You get it. You're putting it into action, which is amazing. And it's amazing that you can just be nervous and reel it off like that. And you've helped a lot of people. Okay. Okay, so we're going to call it a day there. Okay. Fantabulous, says Jawaria. We're going to call it a day there, guys. I've got another call, lucky old me, in 2 minutes. Okay, Esther, you've been amazing. Leave everyone with a one-line motivation or something that resonates with you, or something that can give them maybe a little kick up the butt that they need.
Oh, take action, but be authentic to yourself.
Perfect. Take action, guys, and be authentic to yourself. I couldn't have said it any better. So, Esther, fantastic. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for doing a live with me. You've done it. That's the end.
Thank you.
Well done. Thanks, everyone, for jumping on. Esther, you've been awesome. Today's live code is Esther. Okay. Yeah, it was 30 minutes, guys. It went quick. It goes fast when you're having fun, doesn't it? It goes fast when you're having fun. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Thanks very much, Esther. You did it. Well done. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.